I just finished getting 2 endings on the latest entry in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, Secret of the Mimic. Now, obviously, this is a review, and obviously, there's going to be spoilers. So, spoiler warning, there you go. Alright, let's do this. Now, as somebody who has played all the mainline Five Nights at Freddy's games, this is how I would rank them. Alright, so you got the good ones, you got the very good ones, you got the very, very good ones, and then you enter the greats. Now, I know a lot of you are going to disagree with this list because I know a lot of people that would have all this stuff in different places, but it's just my opinion, and at the end of the day, we're all FNaF fans, so please just don't comment about this, alright? Now, this begs the question, where does Secret of the Mimic go on this list? I will say it now, and I will say it again, and again, and again, and again, with absolute honesty and confidence, that Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic is the best in the franchise. It is able to perfectly modernize the Five Nights at Freddy's universe and gameplay while keeping that same feeling that made the first games so great. There's so many things to talk about, so many things to break down, so many things that make this game the best Five Nights at Freddy's game of all time. So without further ado, I believe that there is only one correct place to start this video. Alright, first things first. You are Arnold, a technician working for Fazbear Entertainment, who just got off of a 36-hour shift and frankly is quite tired. But unfortunately, on your drive home, you get a call from dispatch, telling you that your work isn't done. He then tells you that one of Fazbear Entertainment's contractors, Edwin Murray, has gone missing. However, before going missing, Edwin Murray had apparently been working on some technology that apparently belongs to Fazbear Entertainment now. Your job is to go to Edwin Murray's costume manor, retrieve this technology, and then bring it back to Fazbear Entertainment. Dispatch also mentions that he's been catching some signals of someone or something lurking inside of the building, but he doesn't expect you to run into it. Yeah, Dispatch, I'm sure it won't be a problem. By the way, Dispatch is voiced by the same guy that voiced Hand Unit, so you already know this guy has some of the most hilarious line deliveries.
No, I almost died again. You need to send help. Get me out of here now.
Amazing. We'll look into it.
One more thing I need to mention is that this game takes place before all the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Alright, so that's pretty much all the exposition you need to know what the heck is going on here. So, let's move on to the main gameplay loop this game follows is you going and finding the Data Diver upgrade stations. The Data Diver is the main sort of item you have throughout this game, and it's sort of like the Faz Wrench in a way. So basically, the Data Diver has 6 upgrades, each of these upgrades allowing you to unlock different and various areas in Murray's costume manor. Usually, after collecting each upgrade, a boss-style section is triggered with one of the many animatronics of this game. And while this loop sounds linear and repetitive, the game actually does a good job of keeping it interesting with new mechanics and ideas. And it just feels like new idea after new idea after new idea, and all of them are great. Here are some of my personal highlights. This opening chase scene with Jackie. This carnival section with... Okay, hold on, segue. This is Big Top. Big Top is one of the most genius Five Nights at Freddy's designs I've ever seen. Look at his mouth. His teeth are like teeth, but the inside thingy is like a spinning thingy that plays music like a music box. Like Music Man! Alright, segue over. This section of the game has you play carnival games in order to win a big prize. What is the big prize, you ask? Getting out of here alive. Because Big Top is on absolute demon time in this section, and if he spots you, you're done. After you try and leave, Big Top chases you down in an epic chase scene where you barely make it out alive. Another good section is where you have to go through a warehouse to find parts of a Springlock suit, build the Springlock suit, and then go inside said Springlock suit for a cool theater section. There's also this section where you have to throw trash down a conveyor belt at this new animatronic named Dolly, who's like a nurse animatronic or something. This eventually causes her to fall into a molten incinerator. So you think that's that, right? Wrong. She totally tanks that and comes out of the wall dripping in molten lava. This triggers a chase scene. Then you have to do a stealth section against her. And then you escape in your elevator and you think you're safe because you did all that stuff, right? Wrong. She jumps on top of the elevator and starts dripping molten lava into the elevator and punching it, dude. Then, the tutorial voice that's supposed to be helping you with the elevator thinks that you're too heavy for the elevator's weight capacity and starts telling you to eat tofu or something. And then finally, after repairing the elevator speeds upwards, crushing Dolly between the roof and the elevator. Goated section. And then we got... Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that one. You guys can play it for yourself if you want to see it. Also, most of the main stealth gameplay consists in the Mimic being in one of these random suits scattered around the map. The AI of the Mimic is really well done, and you could use sounds to lure them to different locations in order to escape. Other than the fact that there's also a roller skating Chica, I'm pretty sure that's everything I need to talk about. I said that's all I need to talk about. So, apparently there's 4 different endings to this game, and I sort of got the main 2 ones. The first one I got was the bad ending, and the second one I've got is I've heard the true ending. I've heard, don't quote me on that. Throughout your playthrough, the game will teach you to side with Edwin Murray. You'll learn that he was treated unfairly with his partnership at Fazbear Entertainment, and then he got everything taken out from under him. So at the end of the game, when Dispatch asks you to give him the data diver, you're supposed to think, hey, this is wrong, I shouldn't give all of Edwin Murray's information to Fazbear Entertainment. But no, all of this went right over my head and I did exactly what he said. And I'll just let you watch how it plays out.
Arnold, there you are. We've been trying to get a hold of you all night. Why didn't you answer? Fazbear Entertainment has no other option but to let you go.
What? I just talked to you. You told me to give you the data diver and I could go home.
So you admit it? You misplaced company property.
No, I gave it to you.
Fazbear Entertainment will hold you personally responsible for lost or stolen property. What did you expect would happen?
I did everything you told me to.
Don't call us. Our lawyers will be calling you.
Okay, I can't lie, this ending is pretty cool even though being a quote-unquote bad ending. It sort of mimics that of Help Wanted, where Glitch Trap is lurking in the background, but instead of Glitch Trap this time, it's the Mimic. Alright, now on to the main ending that I got. In this ending, you escape and Dispatch is doing a villain speech or something.
Bunny, running from danger, scared and stupid, searching for a hole to hide in. No, you did everything I asked up to this point. You were an obedient dog, a good dog. Then you bit the hand that fed you.
Then you use Springlock suits to explore an old prototype version of the pizzeria. Then you explore Edwin and Fiona's old house, ending in one final chase scene with the Mimic himself. You run out and escape Murray's costume manor as it burns to the ground. You may have escaped the flames, but the fire and rage inside of the Mimic's being still remains with you as he climbs on top of your van and gives you that mean right hook to the glass, eventually causing your van to crash. And as you awaken from the flames, you look up to see the Mimic himself walking by. He reaches inside the van and takes the data diver from your clutches. As you pass out in the flames of your van, the Mimic walks away with his newfound data. Alright, that's enough of that. When I first got this ending, I was like, what the heck, man? What is this? I just put more effort into getting an objectively worse ending. Now the Mimic is more powerful because he has the data diver. But then I realized that this is a way better ending than the first one because I kept Edwin Murray's properties out of Fazbear Entertainment's slimy hands. And instead, all of the properties went to Edwin Murray's creation, the Mimic. So in a way, it did go back to Edwin, which makes this ending a good ending in my opinion. Well, that's gonna be all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review on Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. 10 out of 10 game, masterpiece. Make sure to like and subscribe, and comment what your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game is down below. I will see you guys in the next video. GG's out!